It's so nice to see you all. Kathy and I were just sitting here talking. Wouldn't it be nice if the congregation was here with us tonight, here in the sanctuary at Woodlawn United Church? Imagine, Kathy, did you think we'd ever get back in here?
Oh, it's been too long.
You notice that Kathy and I are sitting 6 feet apart. We're respecting all the protocols necessary so that we don't spread that dreaded pandemic. You know what that pandemic has done to the world is different for many people. Some are lonely, some are bored, some are just anxious. Some are having to work in more challenging and unsafe environments. Frontline workers, helping to keep the most vulnerable of our population safe. What is true, however, no matter what the challenge, the one thing it has done is gives us reason to connect with family and friends and strangers in ways that we never thought possible. It's not business as normal, it's different. What we are doing today is so different, and while it takes us out of our comfort zone, we know we are being called to recognize that what is most important in life is that we all care for each other, Kathy.
Absolutely, Peter. And so Woodlawn, like many other churches, is trying to maintain that connection with all of our people, all of our members of this congregation. But as well, additionally, every effort is being made to be available to anyone who wants or needs the comfort and a message from God. The ministry staff continues to bring daily devotions in varying forms, and including a worship service every Sunday morning. There are connections weekly with the youth, the Sunday school, and many of our church regular meetings are still being held with the technology of Zoom.
Zoom.
You know Peter. Yeah. Peter's very much in touch with Zoom these days.
We're zooming away.
Every effort is being made to stay connected with all of the congregational members by phone and by offering to help in whatever way possible while maintaining safety and staying healthy.
Most important. Most important. Well, each of us have been impacted by the horrific events which unfolded this past Saturday night and Sunday morning. These events are unthinkable. Well, they're unthinkable at any time, and they're compounded by the realities that we are all experiencing daily as we try to cope with the COVID-19 pandemic. These are typically times when we would physically come together as a community to support one another and to offer comfort and support. It is possible that many of the people who have directly been impacted by these recent events are people that you know. In fact, many of you know that I am very involved in Berwick Camp. Sad to say that one of those people who were tragically killed is a member of our Berwick family. And we all grieve for the loss of a member of our family. So it's terrific that we're able to sit here tonight and talk to you in this way.
So our ministerial staff have been and continue to be active on Facebook as well as Zoom, providing comfort to all who need it at this horrific time. Council is grateful that we're able to reach out even during these challenging times to provide spiritual support and reassurance that God is with us, no matter what, and we will get through this together.
We sure will, Captain.
Nova Scotia strong.
Nova Scotia strong. Council continues to meet with that Zoom. And while our business, and for those of you who may not wonder, what's Zoom? Zoom is just a video conferencing program that we've been using for the last 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and it allows us to meet together on a video conference and carry on some sort of business. And in fact, our council meets by Zoom, and so do the Sunday school children meet with Shannon on a regular basis via Zoom. We're still attending to many other timely issues as well. We've already surpassed that time when we thought we would only be not able to have worship for 2 or 3 weeks. And while we do not have a timeline to work with, we're trying to help adhere to the directions that's being given by the the health professionals from government to maintain distance from each other. You notice Kathy and I are sitting apart from one another here tonight. Steve is doing us the pleasure, not Steve Spielberg, but Stephen Rigdon here tonight doing the camera work for us tonight. And we know that we are soon going to be reaching the time when it's possible that the church, as we knew, will not likely happen before Reverend Philip and Shannon leave for their next cause. But we want you to know that we are working to put interim ministry in place for you in the coming months and year, as we all await the recommendations from the Community of Faith Profile Team. That team continues to meet through the auspices of video conferencing, Zoom, and we look forward with great anticipation for some kind of a report from that team before the summer break.
So in the coming months, we'll be looking at ways to continue what Woodlawn needs to do to bring a closure to Reverend Philip and Shannon's ministry with us. And while decovenanting services and more formal celebrations and goodbyes may not be possible as we certainly would have envisioned them, we will find ways to make it happen. Later, if necessary. In extraordinary times, God calls us to do extraordinary things.
Yeah. Kathy, I think Shannon and Philip are leaving the end of June, and maybe before, because they do have some vacation not to use up before they leave, so it may be more like the third week in June that they'll be gone. And if we have to do a decovenanting service over the Facebook Live, FaceTime, we'll do that. But a more formal celebration will certainly plan something for when we are all back together. These are challenging times of pandemic, and they bring about financial concerns. We all are impacted by financial concerns. We are grateful that we will be able to receive some benefits from government programs to help us offset some of the financial issues that the congregation is facing in the day-to-day expenses. We know and appreciate that many of you are personally challenged financially, and we pray for you, and we hope that you will find ways to get through this, and please know that you're in our prayers. But we are thankful for those of you who continue to give through prayer and through weekly givings that are dropped off here at the church. We are eternally grateful for that, and we know that it's not easy. PAR continues to provide us with the necessary funds for the day-to-day expenses to run the church, to pay our salaries. And we would definitely, without the government programs that we have, we would be definitely experiencing more difficulties. Our A&M team continue to work diligently to make sure that all the bills are being paid and that all our responsibilities are being met. The trustees are doing everything they can to limit our overhead costs, such as heating and lighting. It takes many hands to ensure we continue to take care of this church, its property, and its commitments.
So from the outset of this current situation, Shelley requested that she have permission to work from her office here at the church. And as you all know, we took steps to ensure that it was safe and secure for her, and that we wanted to make sure of her safety first and foremost. And we're grateful for your collective understanding of these steps and for your ongoing adherence to the importance of not coming into the building during the pandemic. It's very important that we have that friendly and helpful voice at the end of the phone during a time that's expected by our congregation. She's supporting the ministry staff who work from home. She's also ensuring that routine matters are being addressed, such as our monthly newsletter, which she's getting out to each of you by email or snail mail for those who don't have email connections. And we want to thank her for her dedication and her ongoing commitment to Woodlawn.
For sure. Big thank you, Kelly. And of course, Ivan Richardson, our accountant, well, he continues to work from home and drops in the office when necessary, again, respecting protocols, safe distancing, and he comes in at times when Shelley is not here. that he continues to work from home to make sure that all our financial commitments are being met, make sure that all the day-to-day bills are being paid, and that we don't get behind in our payments. Joan Mickelson, who is our records clerk, of course, takes care of all the donations. And she's still working diligently to keep those records up to date and to make sure that all the work that is needed in keeping the records of the church go on in as normal a way as possible. And we are so grateful for both of their commitments here. And folks, you know, the food bank, which operates out of our Heritage Center, continues to work its outreach magic. At such an important time as this, the food bank is probably more important now than ever. We are so thankful for the volunteers from many of you from Woodlawn and those from other churches who come in every week to look after the clients that need food. All necessary precautions are being taken to keep the volunteers and the clients safe and protected from the COVID-19 virus. And while it's not business as usual, clients are being served, and this vital and necessary ministry continues to be done.
So in summary, we want to assure each and every one of you that we are all working steadily to carry out God's work on behalf of you, our community of faith family. We miss you. We all look forward to a time when we can all be together physically in this sanctuary, in the fellowship hall. We want to get back to church as we once knew it. We are all learning new and creative ways to do all that we perhaps we took too much for granted. Reaching out and connecting with friends and family is always important, but it was never more important than it is now. And our office and our ministerial staff, well, they're a mere phone call away or an email away. And please don't hesitate to get in touch if you need assistance, if you need information, you just need somebody to talk to, you need to hear about God's love and comfort.
Know that He is there.
Know that He is always with us.
And we thank everybody for joining us here tonight, Kathy.
Absolutely.
And it's been a pleasure having you here tonight, having a chance to chat each other and to chat with the congregation.
We miss everybody. We miss all of this congregation. And now on behalf of the council, Peter and myself, we want to wish you God's richest blessings and peace in the days ahead.
Good night, folks.